The next generation of the Pokemon anime is soon approaching, as Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and the Paldea region is here. But what does that mean for the next anime series? Will it be like older series like Diamond and Pearl or XY? Does it truly push on with an older and wiser Ash Ketchum? Or does it pivot to a new protagonist with similar or different goals? Well, how about a mix of all three? That being said, let's check out something new for the anime with Pokemon, the next generation. The world of Pokemon. The amazing globe that inhabits an infinite amount of creatures with many abilities that are fashioned by the forces of nature and many powers in the universe. Of course, you'll find them in the skies, seas, land, and more, as even some come together with Pokemon trainers to share a common goal of victory while becoming friends. But no trainer knows that more than Ash Ketchum of Pallet Town, a trainer which we followed the stories of across many regions like Kanto, Sinnoh, Kalos, Alola, and more. Whether it's a capture of a new Pokemon, release of a friend, or accomplishing a new goal, we were always excited to see what was next for Ash Ketchum. But what would he be doing now? Like any anime time skip, our main characters of previous series will appear a bit older, so here is Ash Ketchum. Older, wiser, and even more skilled in battle. We would have a familiar face with Ash. This easily helps connect old fans to this new series, as most of us loves Ash, his Pokemon, and respect what he's done and accomplished. So around this time, Ash is no longer 10, roughly being in his early 30s. I know, Ash aging is kind of crazy to think about, but of course he still remains as youthful as ever. At this point, Ash mainly spends his days doing champion paperwork at times, defense matches for his Alola champion title, while managing his appearances as a Pokemon World Champion. Since his powerful match against Leon, Ash has always participated in the PWC just for about every season, and even managed to beat Leon on equal footing. So yes, he actually beat Leon with only one gimmick as intended. Since then though, he has been on an unbeatable streak, gaining more and more fans than ever before. And at the tip of this story, he is currently set to travel to Paldea for a special event. Of course, Ash is very excited because he hasn't traveled to Paldea before. Though all of this is exciting, Ash does have his own drawbacks. As in this story, Ash is constantly wondering if he achieved his dream of becoming a Pokemon Master, in addition to being in a position where he now is the unbeatable champion, which funny enough is a similar issue to what Leon had before Ash defeated him. Plus, I think using the Pokemon Master title as Ash's conflict is interesting, because this has always been his driving force to push him into the next region. As we now have an older Ash Ketchum, it makes sense for him to have his own struggles and issues, constantly wondering if this is what he exactly wanted. But I did mention that Ash will be traveling to Paldea of course, but he wouldn't go alone. So let's introduce the real main characters of Pokemon the next generation. So say hello to Noah and Laura, or their Japanese names of Sato and Hinoko. Now if it weren't obvious, these two are young trainers, and more importantly the kids of Ash Ketchum. I wonder if you can guess who their mother is. But for now, let's focus on them. Let's start with the older of the two, being Laura. Ash's daughter Laura is a young trainer and a student of the Vermilion City school within Kanto, roughly being about the age of 12. She prides herself on being punctual and quite studious, though she is not the best battler compared to her younger brother. Also, she is currently one of the top students in her class and the entire school, though she has one consistent issue of not knowing what she wants to do. Whether it's doing something similar to her mother, possibly something more like her father Ash, or something completely different. She will of course be joining Ash on his new travels to Paldea, as she's heard about the Naranja and Uba Academy being a prestigious school where some have found out exactly what they're looking for. She of course doesn't travel alone, as she has some of her own Pokemon, like her first partner Pokemon Squirtle from Professor Oak. Also, when I mention Professor Oak, I now mention Professor Gary Oak, as he's now taken over for his grandfather as the head professor. Now of course the choice for Squirtle is a callback to Ash's original starter choice when he was younger, but never got because he overslept. Then she also has a Vivillon from Kalos that she raised from a Scatterbug, which is another callback to Ash's first capture being a Caterpie and evolving it into a Butterfree. All in all, she shares similarities of Ash and her mother and embraces a brand new adventure in Paldea. Now it's time for Ash's son, Noah, or Sato. Noah is a fresh and new trainer, but is quite in depth when it comes to battles, as he usually watches all of his dad's matches on TV or even live events, even commanding a few of Ash's Pokemon around Oak's or Kukui's lab. Though Noah is headstrong and strong-willed with battle skills to match, he can sometimes come off a bit cocky. But just like Ash, Noah loves all kind of food and Pokemon, ultimately having the dream to take on his dad in a full-on battle with his own Pokemon and beating him. But of course, Noah doesn't come alone, as he has his own partner Pichu, which was a gifted Pokemon from Ash himself. Now whether it's a time skip or not, Pikachu is the mascot of the series in the franchise, so it was for sure going to be here in some way. Plus, I think giving Noah a Pichu, which will evolve into a Pikachu in time, is pretty perfect, as this will show growth of their bond as partners and shows a side of Pichu into Pikachu we don't normally get to see. Now that we have Ash, Lara, and Noah, well, what would they do in Paldea? I mentioned before that Ash will be invited to Paldea on behalf of Chairwoman Geeta, allowing us to meet the strongest trainer in Paldea. This would be a broadcasted interview displaying at the school, as well as a popular internet stream from Iono, who of course is a big fan of Pikachu. Having Ash talk about everything he's learned on his adventures alongside Pokemon he's met and how he's become so strong. Both Noah and Lara are actually excited because they watch Iono all the time. At this point in the interview, it cut over to different segments of other characters, like seeing Dr. Brock, Elite Four Misty, Professor Gary Oak, Master Coordinator May, and even Champion Paul with a lot more. But when the interview was ending off, Ash would do something that he typically does, and he would challenge Geeta to a battle. Not to only show off his skills and everything he's learned, but to also challenge Geeta because he heard how strong she is. This allows students as well as Ash's children to see some high level battling take place. Ash would of course use Pikachu against Geeta's shiny King Gambit. This battle would feature a high level battling of Thunderbolts against Dark Pulse, and Pikachu's Iron Tail against King Gambit's Kanto Cleave. I mean, a real sight to see for anyone. But just like any other Pokemon anime, this battle will be interrupted by Team Rocket. Whether that's a new Team Rocket or old Team Rocket, I don't know. But it will then progress the story in a normal manner to help cascade our new heroes into the Paldea story. Now I want to state here that Ash isn't the main character, more of a reoccurring role, leaving the focus on Noah, Lara, and Arven, with Nemona and Penny being very reoccurring roles as well. I think this version of the anime could use Noah as Nemona's rival and will follow the path of Victory Road. Nemona can see something special within Noah since he is Champion Ash's son, just like the player character in the games. This would kick off battles between the two, and Noah sees Nemona as his first stepping stone to become a stronger trainer. Just like a player character, Director Clavo will give starter Pokemon to these trainers, giving Noah Quaxly, Nemona Sprigatito, and leaving Fuecoco for something special. As this also helps put Nemona on a level playing field with Noah, allowing him to embark on his new adventure as he collects gym badges and creates his own battle style to take on the champion. As for Lara, she'll be focusing on the school, classes, and the background of Team Star, which will help her dive into her own path and share a unique connection to Penny. And just like the games, we have to follow the Arven story because it's just too good. It's one of the best storylines we've had in a while. So I could see them incorporating Noah and Lara alongside Penny and Nemona into some of those plot lines, especially in the Area Zero stuff. Leaving just Ash as a reoccurring character that we'll see from time to time, maybe doing some defense matches, maybe some more interviews, and just checking in on his kids. Possibly challenging Nemona and even his son Noah to a couple Pokemon matches throughout the series, as this could be a great way to show off Ash's Paldea team and some new Pokemon members he's picked up, as it could be pretty epic to see him with a Skellydirge or a Cerise. I mean, anything's possible. Again, this is all just a concept and very much stems from the idea of turning Pokemon into something like Boruto, but it will be way better since that is like all filler and this could be a unique story. Having Ash return is just something that pays homage to the older fans, especially for those who have stuck around for so long and seen the story. Finally being able to see Ash and other characters that we know and love grow up just like us is just awesome. Then for the new fans, you have Noah and Lara and Penny and Arven and all those other characters, and you can share so many great topics that are outlined. Just don't do any crazy filler because the Scarlet and Violet games are right there. To me, it just works well and I would love to see this. Well, what do you guys think about my concept of a potential time skip within the Pokemon Next Generation anime? I think it's such a fun idea. I may even think about making it a short series on my channel. Could be something for those who do want that. That being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I want to say thank you guys for watching and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!